I've been trying to figure out a way how to record this, and I've recorded this over and over and over again trying to describe my feelings on this book, and it's been difficult, honestly. Here is the non-spoilery section of this book talk, because I wanted to give a quick review of this book, whereas I don't want to completely spoil the book, and hopefully throughout this video I don't spoil too much of it. So, non-spoiler section, let's go. This book, the notes, is exactly what it is. It feels like it was notes jotted down from the members as things were happening on a certain date. It feels like diary entries rather than an actual book with dialogues. As a reader, you'll read it as, that's weird. They didn't break lines whenever a new person is talking, and I feel like it's more because this genuinely feels like someone's diary rather than an actual book, an author book. And that's what kind of makes it feel interesting at the same time, because if you've been into the BTS universe, you kind of, despite it not having many adjectives describing the feeling, despite it not having a lot of flowery words around it, despite it not being a lot of words, it's a very short book. I managed to read it within 3.5 hours. You still, if you're in the BTS universe, you've seen all the music videos, you visually see what's going on, because everything that you've been obsessed over for God knows how long, it clicks and it adds on to what has already been seen. It gives you context for all the visuals that you've seen, from the Wings album to the very beginning of the No More Dream era, to the Wings album, to the short film of Her, to everything, and it makes sense. It adds context that you've been asking for, context that you've been having conspiracy boards for. It makes sense. I would recommend this for any BTS fan. However, if you aren't a BTS fan, you will not understand what's going on, because it's not very descriptive and it's very confusing, because you don't really get an introduction to the characters, because this book is meant mainly for giving context. Now, on to the spoilery section, which I don't even know how spoilery this is going to be. So if you don't want to be spoiled, if you want to read the book, please click out and press watch for later so we can talk about this book, because I really want to talk about this book. There have been so many explanations in this book that I have been needing for years. I have been in this fandom officially since 2015, so it's been, oh my god, 4 years since I've started. Once it hits May, it's gonna be 4 years, but I've seen BTS since debut because I've been in the K-pop fandom, because I was a part of the second gen K-pop group. So seeing BTS grow from very little boys to where they are now is absolutely amazing, and seeing how the notes incorporates the very beginning of who they are to where they are now, the storyline of everything is very, very interesting. And what I mean by that is that at the very beginning of the book, they're all saying, I don't have a dream. I don't have a dream. I yelled to the sea something about my dreams that I don't even know what they are. And I thought that was poetic and beautiful, and you see how close they are. It shows them hating school, and I visually saw danger in it, with Jimin in the bathroom and all the boys in the classroom with all the desks kind of scooted across. Visually in my mind I saw that, because honestly I've seen the music videos 1,000 times, of course I'd see that. And then the I Need You era, where they're all having fun, where they're all together and just enjoying life. And then that moment when everything breaks apart. And then that's where the whole Seokjin story kind of comes in, where he's trying to fix everything and time travels and goes back in times to try to fix everything. And the whole I Need You music video is just going on as the explanations are going on, and it is mind-boggling, honestly. Like, you can tell, because I wanted to talk about this, because after I took a shower, instead of waiting for the next day to talk about this, I'm here makeupless, and I know it's weird seeing my bare face because I look like a dead ghost and I'm dying because of allergies, but this is just so intriguing to me. the webtoon that comes with it explains it, but I want to talk about like how the Wings era kind of gives the story more context to everything, because the I Need You era is just the prelim of everything, but the Wings era is more of a, this is the backstory of everyone, and believe it or not, the solo songs actually are part of the story too, and they're not just there. For example, Jimin's solo song in Wings, Lie, always confused me the most out of all the solo songs, mainly because it just never made any sense to me. I felt like it was just a beautiful sounding song, and since Jimin was classically trained, I guess it fit him. I never understood the lyrics until I read the books, which made sense. I did jot down notes, by the way, but I'm not gonna read all of it because I think that's just a lot of effort, and I think this is more of something you have to experience yourself. When the doctor asked me about it in a concerned tone, I trembled and apologized at first. I repeatedly said that I was sorry, it was all my fault, please let me forget all about it. Then I tried to pretend nothing had happened. I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't remember anything, so I glazed the doctor and smiled. I don't remember anything. Did the doctor actually believe me? I wasn't sure, but what was important was that I became a good kid. Caught in a lie. But this is literally the song, and things just slowly started churning. And then especially with Namjoon's reflection song, that made sense because in the story something big happened where this kid, where Namjoon could have died if his dad didn't call him, and this kid died in his place, and he's constantly thinking about it, saying it could have been me, or it's my fault, this happened because I did this. And then he eventually just ran away, got on a bus and ran away. And Taehyung, oh my god, Taehyung was big. Like, Stigma made so much more sense, where it was calling me a sinner, because he constantly had these nightmares of him killing his dad over and over and over, and apologizing to his brothers. And that was deep. That was so deep. And then Jungkook, just, he's obviously the youngest, and I guess another part of the story, which I'm sorry I'm breaking topic again, is it very much depends on the older brother and younger brother dynamic. For example, Yoongi and Jungkook were a pair, and Namjoon and Taehyung were a pair, and J-Hope and Jimin were a pair. It's always the older brothers kind of taking care of the younger ones, and the younger ones being that beacon of hope to the older brother. I thought that was interesting, and I feel like it had a lot of Korean cultural text to it that I can't really translate, but I feel like it's there. So another thing that also blew my mind was how, as a fan of BTS, you feel very close to them because of BTS Run, the Bangtan Bombs, the V-Lives, the Twitter, YouTube, everything. You just feel closer to them and you feel like you know them. And it boggles my mind too, because they use that. Because throughout the story, Seokjin and Hoseok were the ones that talked the least, but they had very important roles, especially Seokjin. A huge part of this book, he wasn't even in it, because he was just missing, I felt like, because it was talking about the other members. And it kind of comes true with the fandom as well, because we don't really know about Jin and J-Hope all that much. We know a lot about Jimin, Jungkook, and Taehyung, but we don't know about Seokjin and Hoseok. I'm sorry, Korean names are very difficult. But we know more about Yoongi and Namjoon more than J-Hope and Jin. You know what I mean? So this book kind of plays on that note also, where you know more about Jin and Namjoon more than... You know, this book plays more on that, where you know more about Suga and RM more than you know about Jin and J-Hope. And back to the whole, it plays on what you know about the members. This feels like a very well-written fanfiction, and fanfiction is very well written because you already know the characters. There's no need for introductions. You just go straight into it and you know the characters. Well, it kind of tripped me off because there was this one line where he's a graffiti artist and he kind of does abstract art with spray cans to kind of barf out his mind. And it was interesting because he would just do it to translate his mind and he didn't know what was going on, and that's abstract art. And Taehyung in real life is interested in abstract art, so it kind of almost blurs a line between reality and fiction, and that's another aspect that I found really interesting. And I'm sorry, I should have jotted down notes writing this, but I wanted to barf up what I thought of this book. And another thing was, after the whole Jin time traveling thing happened, where all the boys in the end live, they all learn how to deal with their past, and they learn how to love themselves, except for Jin. And this makes so much sense because in Fake Love, Jin was holding on to the flower, the truth untold. The Cimerdo flower, I don't know how to pronounce that word. While all the other members kind of had to face their past, but Jin never really faced his past, because in Awake the lyrics go, "I'll never be able to fly because he's under his father's control." And you could tell that throughout the story, that he was always under his father's control, even though he wanted to find happiness with the boys, with his boys. And so he just never fully learns how to love himself. All the other members do. And this leads on to the new era and just leaves you more questions. Even though now you have context, you will now have more questions that the book gives you. And I hope this book discussion helps you a little bit describing what's going on, because I'm also still trying to figure out what's going on, because I am a very confused being that is doing her best to understand BTS. And I will say that I am so proud that I knew of them when they debuted, even though I wasn't a fan, because you can't really blame me, because they just looked like F-boys at the beginning, trying to be tough but looking like puppies. And now that they've kind of grown up, I don't know, I'm so proud of being their fan and seeing where the storyline goes, and I'm going to be around for a very long time. It's gonna be exciting. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to me talk. Please, if you want to have book discussions, comment down below, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you follow me through my other videos. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.